You've been going to the gym for months, maybe over a year, and you still look basically the same. So you did what anyone does. You went online, you found a new program, upper lower, push-pull legs, bro split, full body. You picked one, ran it for 6 weeks, saw nothing, and switched again. Maybe you bought a course, maybe you hired an online coach for a month, maybe you spent 3 hours on a Tuesday night redesigning your entire workout split. Because some guy with 2 million followers said incline dumbbell press hits the upper chest better. And you still look the same. Here's the thing, your program is probably fine. It was fine 6 months ago, too. The problem is not the program. The problem is something way more boring than that. Let's talk about what's actually stopping you from growing. Muscle growth is stupidly simple in theory. You put stress on a muscle, the muscle is tensioned. You recover, it grows back a little bigger. That's it. That's the whole game. But here's where people go wrong. They think the gym is where the growth happens. It's not. The gym is just where you apply the stress. The actual growing happens outside of it, while you're eating, while you're sleeping, while you're doing nothing. And if those two things aren't right, it doesn't matter how perfect your program is. You are not growing, full stop. So when someone tells me they're stuck, the first two questions I ask are simple. How much are you eating, and how much are you sleeping? And almost every single time, that's where the answer is. Let's start with food because this one kills more progress than anything else. Most people who think they're eating enough are not eating enough. This is not an opinion. This is just what happens when you actually track your food for the first time and realize that your big meal was 600 calories and you've been eating 800 calories a day thinking you were in a bulk. Your body needs a calorie surplus to build muscle. That means you need to be eating more than you're burning, not a little more, enough more that your body has actual raw material to work with. If you're in a deficit or even just at maintenance, your body has no reason to build new tissue. It's not going to do extra work for free. That's not how biology works. Yes, beginners can build muscle and lose fat at the same time. For about the first 6 to 12 months. After that, you're playing by the normal rules. And if you've been training for more than a year and you're still spinning your wheels, the honeymoon phase is over. You need to actually eat. The frustrating part is that most people know this. They've heard it 100 times. But knowing it and actually doing it are completely different things. Tracking your food feels annoying. Eating more feels weird when you're not hungry. So people just estimate, and people are terrible at estimating. Studies show that people underestimate their calorie intake by up to 50%. Half. So if you think you're eating 3,000 calories, you might actually be eating 2,000. No wonder nothing is happening. Track your food for 2 weeks. Actually track it. Weigh things. Be honest. You will find out very quickly whether food is your problem. Now sleep, and I know you already rolled your eyes. Sleep is not just rest. It's when growth hormone gets released. It's when muscle protein synthesis peaks. It's when your nervous system recovers from the training stress you put it through. If you're sleeping 5 or 6 hours a night and wondering why you can't recover between sessions, you're not letting the process finish. They train hard, they eat okay, and then they stay up until 2 in the morning watching videos or gaming, and then they wake up at 7 for work or school. And they do this 5 days a week, and then they wonder why they look the same as they did 8 months ago. You are not recovering. You are going to the gym, breaking down muscle, and then not giving your body enough time to rebuild it. You're not building, you're just spinning in place and calling it a training cycle. 7 to 9 hours, that's the range. Not 6, not 5.5, 7 to 9. Non-negotiable if building muscle is actually a priority. Here's the part that nobody wants to hear. Most people are not actually consistent. They go to the gym 4 days a week for 3 weeks, then life happens. They miss a week, then they go back for 2 weeks, then they disappear for another 2 weeks. Then they restart a new program because the old one wasn't working. That pattern repeated over and over is not consistency. That's a cycle of starting over. And every time you start over, you lose a little of the adaptation you built. Your body is not making net progress. It's just recovering the same lost ground every few months. Real consistency is boring. It means showing up even when the session is going to be mediocre. It means doing your 2 workouts a week during the crazy busy week instead of doing 0. It means not quitting a program after 6 weeks because you didn't blow up overnight. The people who make the most progress in the gym are usually not the ones training the hardest. They're the ones who never fully stop. And now let's talk about progressive overload because this is the one that ties everything together. Progressive overload means that over time you are doing more than you did before. More weight, more reps, more sets, something has to go up. If you're doing the exact same workout with the exact same weight for the exact same reps as you were 6 months ago, you have given your body zero reason to change. Why would it? It's already adapted to exactly what you're doing. You are maintaining, not building. This is why writing things down matters. You cannot progressively overload something you can't remember. If you don't track your lifts, you are probably guessing every session. And when people guess, they tend to pick a comfortable weight, not a challenging one. Comfort does not build muscle. Every session you should know what you did last time. And you should be trying to beat it by something, even one extra rep, even 2.5 pounds. Small progress is still progress, and small progress that never stops will absolutely get you somewhere. So let's bring this together. Your program is not the problem. The program is almost never the problem. Any reasonable training program that hits each muscle group with enough volume and lets you recover will work. The difference between a good program and a great program is maybe 10%. The difference between eating enough and not eating enough is everything. The difference between sleeping 7 hours and sleeping 5 is enormous. The difference between consistent progress over 2 years and starting over every 6 weeks is your entire result. Stop chasing the perfect split. Stop redesigning your program every month. Stop watching 3 hours of YouTube trying to find the one secret exercise. You already know what you need to do. Eat more, sleep more, show up consistently, track your lifts and make them go up over time. That's it. That's the whole answer. It's not a program problem. It never was. The people who get big are not the ones with the best programs. They're the ones who did the boring stuff right for long enough that the results had no choice but to show up. Now go eat something.